going on YouTube? Boomerman here. This video is for you whippersnappers out there, you green behind the ears Uber drivers, brand new Uber drivers. Maybe you're just considering driving for Uber and you would like a little bit of insight, some tips. This is for you, okay? I get a ton of questions. And I'm going to try to just put some general information out here for you guys. The first thing that I want to point out is there's a lot of stuff on Craigslist, which is more than likely where a lot of you people have seen these things. Uber posts a lot of their hiring information on Craigslist, and they promote things like $40 an hour, $30 an hour, $25 an hour. And, you know, just disregard that right off the bat, okay? If it seems too good to be true, it is. That is almost always the case. So just keep that in mind. Now, technically, yes, you can make around $25 an hour, sure. It doesn't happen that way for everybody. In fact, I hear more people complaining about they're making less than minimum wage than I hear people bragging about how they're making $25, $35 an hour. I can honestly say that I usually make between $25 and $33 an hour. And it also really depends on what you drive. Right now I'm driving a Cadillac that gets 20 miles a gallon. So, you know, that gas is kind of killing me, but the comfort of driving in a Cadillac kind of offsets that. You know, it's a personal preference thing. So don't come into this thinking you're going to make $40 an hour, $45 an hour, guys, because the truth is even for people that have been driving as long as I have, you know, it's tough to make 25, 30 bucks an hour. It really is. You can do it. But, okay, if you come into Uber, a lot of people do this, you know, they jump head first, you know, just right into it, man. There's nothing wrong with that. But you won't make $25, $30 an hour jumping into this thing and working countless hours. In fact, the more hours you work, you're going to find out the less your hourly wage is going to be. Now, what you bring home is going to be a lot better, but it will come at a cost to your hourly rate. Listen to that. Here those cops. Gotta love the hood, man. God, I can't wait to get out of here. Anyway, so, you know, if you want to work 40, 50 hours a week, absolutely go for it. You can bring home a good pay. You really can. But you won't be making that $25 to $30 an hour. Now, here's what I do. All right, in order for me to be able to honestly say I bring home $25 to $30 an hour, I really only work the busiest times of the weekends. That's it. I work Friday night, Saturday night. Uber is my only job. I do nothing else. Not for much longer. I'm gonna get back into a couple things that selling cars. One of them I'm really good at it. I've done it for a long time. Very lucrative business for me. I'm also going to start my title service back up. It's another very lucrative business. I will continue doing Uber because I want to be a part of this. I don't want to jump ship and abandon everybody out here. I want to be able to keep making these videos and stay current with what's going on so I can give you guys advice and help to make the most out of your experience driving for Uber. And honestly, I enjoy it. I really do. So if you want to work 50, 60 hours a week, you know, go for it. But understand that it's going to come at a cost to your per hour rate. Sure, you can bring home, conservatively, you should be able to bring home $600, $700 a week. You should be able to. But if you're putting in 50 hours a week, you know, sorry, I'm not, I don't do math all that well in my head, but let's say you make $700 a week, and let's say you work 50 hours for that. Okay, that's $14 an hour. Is that good money? Yeah, yeah, it's good money. Absolutely, absolutely, it's good money. There's no shame in making $14 an hour. Um, and honestly, who the hell cares what your average hourly rate is? For me, I only do it here because work is 4 hours round trip for me to go to work and come home. It doesn't make any sense for me to work any other times in the weekend. Um, it just doesn't work. It's not profitable during the week for me. But if you live near where you're going to be Ubering, then absolutely put in as many hours you want to, make that money. Screw the hourly rate. Just don't get caught up in the hype. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Uber posts a lot of hype, and it's sad because what they're doing is they're giving drivers false hope. You're going to come into this expecting your first week, you're going to work 40 hours a week. You're going to make a ton of money, right? And then you get your check and you're just like, man, but I put in the hours. Where's my $40 an hour? Just, you can make good money doing this, guys. You can. It takes getting used to. It can be stressful. You've got to have patience, but you can do it, okay? You can make decent money doing this. I've done it. I've paid my bills for over a year. I'm not living large. I live in the freaking ghetto right now, but that's all changing. I'm up out of here soon and getting back to the life I'm used to living. So, next, ratings. All right, you new drivers, or if you're a driver getting ready to just start, screw your rating. Do the best you can, okay? I highly recommend when you're just starting out, provide water bottles. All right, now I've cut that out. I've done this long enough. I don't need the water bottles for a good rating. I don't need to give out gum and candy to get a good rating. I get good ratings because I'm good at what I do. I'm personable. I'm charismatic. You probably can't tell that because when I'm on video, I am uber shy. But anyway, I get pretty good ratings for the most part. Sometimes I have an awkward experience. That's just going to happen to everybody. But don't worry about your ratings, guys. You've got 100 free rides to screw up with Uber. Okay, you get 100 rides for you to figure it out, know what you're doing, get a better understanding of the city, and get a better understanding of how to converse with the passengers. They give you 100 trips to figure this stuff out. So you're all right. Don't sweat it. You're going to start out with a 5.0, and probably by the end of your first week, you're going to be at like a 4.6, 4.7, maybe even a 4.5. Okay, and you're going to be sweating bullets. Uber understands. You've got 100 rides to get your rating up to a reasonable level. Now, what is a reasonable level? According to Uber, if you fall below a 4.6 or even right at a 4.6, they can pull your contract and you're done. I know that seems harsh. Those are Uber's rules. Keep in mind, we are independent contractors. We agreed to these things when we signed on with Uber. If you did not read your 17-page contract, then that is one of the things that you missed, was that you can be terminated. Honestly, for any reason whatsoever, you can be terminated, suspended. It's their discretion, guys. That's part of the hazard of this job. So ratings, keep it above a 4.6, okay? And new drivers, you've got 100 rides to get it figured out. Okay, moving on from ratings. I don't even know what to tell you guys. No, let's move on to insurance, okay? Uber has insurance. Obviously, you have insurance. Now, if you have a passenger in the car and because you had your app on and you were in the middle of a trip, you picked a passenger up, you're on the way to drop a passenger off, Uber's insurance is primary to your insurance, okay? So what that means is if you have an accident, you do not go through your insurance company. Don't call your insurance company. There is an icon on your iPhone called Waybill, okay? It'll show you your last trip, which will be the one that you obviously had the accident on, and it has the insurance information that you need to give to the police and the other person's insurance, or just the other person, depending on how that's all working out. Uber's insurance is primary. Do not give out your personal insurance, because let me tell you something, you're not supposed to be using your personal car to transport passengers. It's against your insurance policy unless you have commercial insurance. So if you do give your personal insurance information, chances are your insurance company is going to drop you, and moreover, you're probably going to have a really hard time getting any other insurance company to carry you. They have a network. Insurance companies have a network, and they keep in touch with each other. And you have a file and a credit score. If you didn't know that, you have an insurance score. They keep tabs on you and what you're doing and what you've been doing, guys. So that's another hazard of this is if it gets found out that you are driving for Uber and you have not obtained anything other than personal insurance coverage, you're quite likely to have your insurance canceled, and it may be very hard for you to get insurance again. That's just take it or leave it, guys. You know, that is a big risk. That's your personal call. Obviously, I'm doing it. I've been doing it a year now. All is good in my world, but I haven't had an accident. Accidents can happen at any time, can happen to any one of us. And at that point, God only knows how it's going to play out. Now, you're going to get passengers. Believe me, guys, I know it sounds like an easy job, just cruising around driving people. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. There's a lot of media coverage lately regarding people, Uber drivers hitting passengers with hammers, dragging passengers out of the car, smashing their phones. You know, I don't know if any of this is true or not. I'm assuming it is. You know, a guy had his face bashed in, and it seems like pretty real situation. You can't beat your passengers. I mean, I shouldn't have to tell you this, okay? But you can't get out of your car and beat people on the street because they piss you off. You can't go to your back seat of your car and beat your passenger because they piss you off, okay? Guys, let's get real. We're professional drivers. Professional people don't take hammers to their passengers, all right? Seriously, you're going to have some passengers that are difficult to deal with. They can be very difficult. You know, I had one last week that was talking shit on my car, and I got a pretty nice Cadillac. And the passenger was talking about, oh, this must be, she was drunk, you know, and you can't listen to anything they're saying. Just laugh it off. Ha ha ha, you know, let them insult you, whatever. Just laugh it off. She's talking about my Cadillac looks like a car I probably use in my personal time to deal drugs out of. And, well, she said some other things that just were not very nice. And, you know, did it piss me off? Yeah, she had my nerves shot. But, you know, I kept smiling on my face, laughed it off, took her to her destination, let her get the fuck out of my car, and I moved on with my day. All right? Don't take it personally, guys. Just don't. They can talk shit, let them scream, yell, just whatever they're going to do, just take them where they got to go, drop them off. Now, if the experience is very uncomfortable for you, obviously you don't have to take them anywhere. You can drop them off at any point. If it becomes too uncomfortable for you, if you feel like the situation is devolving and things could get physical, you know, at that point you have to do what you have to do to protect yourself. Obviously, you are free to pull over at any time and tell the passenger to get out of your car. Now, I wouldn't, okay, you want to de-escalate the situation. You don't want to escalate it, because then things are going to get ugly. Okay, so some of these drivers where things have gotten violent, you know, I see them posting, I pulled over, told them get the fuck out of my car. That doesn't seem like a really good way to de-escalate a volatile situation. All right, get some people skills. You know, watch some videos, read some books, just try to learn a little bit better way of approaching people. You know, instead of telling them to get the fuck out of your car, you know, don't jerk the wheel and pull over like some crazy person. Just professionally, slowly pull over and explain to them, listen, you're making me very uncomfortable, and at this point I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I'm ending your trip. You're free to request another Uber, but you need to exit my vehicle. Please, be polite. You guys ever see that Patrick Swayze movie, Roadhouse? It's a good movie, man. And he's got it nailed, you know? Be polite. If you have to throw him out of the bar, be polite. Until it's time to be mean. Okay, there's a time when, you know, obviously if the dude puts his hands on you something, you got to defend yourself. But up until it has to become ugly, keep it civil, be professional, be courteous, be polite. You would be surprised how many violent situations can be de-escalated by simply having conversation and being respectable and being civil. Show some civility, okay? A lot of these customers are drunk. Some of them have had a bad night. You don't know their situation, and honestly, they don't care about yours because you're just their driver. Okay, if you can, just take them to their destination and drop them off. If you have to, and I mean, it's kind of a last resort. Pull over, ask them to please exit the vehicle, end their trip. When you pull over, end their trip. Um, and then if they won't leave your vehicle, at that point, still, do not put your hands on the passengers. Call the police, okay? 911. Explain to them that you are an Uber driver, you have a belligerent customer that you feel is threatening you, and you want them to leave your vehicle and they refuse. From that point, let the police deal with it. All right? Avoid violence or physical contact at all costs. I'm going to have to end this video soon. Physical contact is going to bring me to the next part of this video. Guys, ladies, probably more to do with guys, don't have sex with your customers. I know it's tempting. I do. I know. I'm a dude. All right. Believe me. Yes, I have had many an occasion where a passenger has offered to, you know, party with me, want me to come inside. I'll just log off, come inside, party with me, smoke a joint with me. Some other pretty crazy, and then some kinky shit, you know. And while I am flattered, because, you know, let's face it, I'm pushing 35 years old, and I'm growing a second chin. You know, I'm not blind, guys. I'm not as good looking as I used to be. Still better than most. No, you know, I'm just screwing around. I'm really not conceited at all. In fact, I'm exactly the opposite. That's my defense mechanism. I don't intend to do it, but it's kind of a subconscious thing. I'm very self-conscious about my weight and my looks, and you know, I joke about it, and that is my defense mechanism. But it does feel good. It does. And I'm not lying. I'm not just trying to make myself look good here, but I've had several very attractive women offer me to party with them, spend the night with them. You know what? I've never done it. I've had women put their hands all over me, and I politely take their hands and you know, take them away from my body. As much as it's embarrassing, last week I had a guy. Yeah, I should stop right there. Okay. Guy was sitting in the seat directly behind me. Several passengers in the car, but he was the one in the seat directly behind me, and I kept feeling hands all over my head and my face. And let me tell you something. All right, I got nothing against gay people or bi people or curious, whatever the hell you are. That's not my business, man. It's not my business until you start touching me. And then it's my business. I don't like being touched by a dude. Okay? Like I said, I've got nothing against people that do or whatever. That's but me personally, you know, respect my feelings. Your rights as an individual end where mine to begin. Okay? I do not want to be touched by another man. And it was a really awkward situation for me because I was angry. You know, as he was touched, literally, as I'm driving, he's touching me. Very awkward situation, man, and it did. I was pretty pissed. But you know what? I kept my composure. I kept cool. I got him and his passengers to their destination. The weird thing is his wife was sitting right next to him in the back seat, and she was trying her damnedest to get him to touch her. She's like, baby, don't touch him. Touch me, baby. Don't touch him. And I'm not gonna lie, his wife was hot, and she was fine, and this man is touching all over me, and I'm like, you have issues, brother. I kept my mouth shut. I did ask him to please not touch me. I asked her if she could please keep his hands off of me because I don't appreciate being touched by another man. And while I do appreciate being touched by a woman, it is not in your best interest or the passenger's best interest to party with them. These aren't your friends. These aren't your buddies. Okay, these are your clients. These are your customers, and this is a professional business. If you can't handle being professional, then you don't belong here. Okay. I mean, I know that a lot of you probably won't listen to this. You're going to do what you're going to do, but it could be a dangerous situation. Okay, you don't know what you're getting into. This girl could have a husband. This girl could have a boyfriend. Same thing for you ladies. I mean, I'm sure it happens both ways, but I'm speaking from my perspective here and what's happened to me. You don't know what you're walking into. You just don't. And the last thing you need is that kind of drama, or the next day the lady waking up and going, oh my God, he raped me, or he molested me, or he assaulted me. It's not worth it. Is sex worth it? I mean, to you, sex worth going to jail? It's not to me. I love it just as much as anybody else does, but I'm not going to jail over it. No, thank you. Mm-mm. So that's going to be my last tip for right now for you guys. If you have any other specific questions, compose a list and comment them or whatever to me, and I'll make a separate video if I haven't covered something. I've got several other videos describing what kind of car you should probably be looking at for Uber X. Guys, please don't sleep with your passengers. Ladies, don't sleep with your passengers, please. Okay, it makes us look unprofessional. It really does. It can be very tempting. I know. I've had it happen many times, and I have turned them down every single time. I have never slept with one of my passengers. I've never partied with one of my passengers. That's crossing a line, in my opinion, and probably in Uber's opinion too. Guys, that's it. I gotta go. This is a 22-minute video, and you guys probably have to sleep by now. But anyway, drive safe, people. Uber on. Don't give up on Uber, guys. I know it's getting harder to make money, but I think if you stick around, it'll be worth it. All right?